Good afternoon and welcome back to Girded with Truth. We have been talking about kingdom legacy and what we are passing on for our children. Today we are continuing kingdom legacy, but we are taking it from the perspective of obedience. Deuteronomy chapter 11 verses 18 to 21 says, "Therefore shall ye lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. And ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house and upon thy gates, that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth." So, we are talking about kingdom legacy, and we are talking about teaching your children. And God is saying here, make it a sign for them, bind it on their hands, so that every time you look, you will see it. He's saying, make sure you teach that to your children. It's like what he started off saying, keep it in your heart. I believe it was David who said, "Thy word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee." So we have to keep God's word in our heart, so we will not be tempted to sin, or we will not fall into sin. And then it continues to say, make sure that you teach your children, and you teach them by repetition. So you talk about it when you're sitting in your house, when you're walking somewhere, when you're lying down, when you wake up in the morning, which speaks about your devotional life. And he's saying, write it on your doorpost, put it on your gates. He's saying, when you do all this, your days will be multiplied, and the days of your children. So he's saying, if you follow my laws, my statutes, and my commands, your days will be multiplied. And if you go to verse 22, it says, "For if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you to do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and to please to him," and continuing, there's a list of blessings he said he will give unto them. So if you drop down to verses 26 to 28, it says, "Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day, and a curse if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known." So at the end of it all, God is saying, you have here a blessing that I will give to you if you follow my commands, my statutes, my laws, my everything. If you walk in my ways, all of it, I will bless you. And if you look at the blessings, there's blessings about deliverance from enemies, protection, sustenance. Everywhere your feet tread will be yours. So it's talking about dominion. So he's giving you more. He's enlarging your territory. All these things are blessings of God if you simply obey his laws and you keep him in your heart, if you love him. Because verse 22 talks about those who love God and walk in his ways. So what am I saying? I'm saying that the base of everything is obedience. God just requires your love and your obedience. God does not need to prove his love to us, because he sent Jesus to die for us, so that we are not consumed by our own sin, so that we are not put to death, so that we do not have to consistently kill these animals and all of this. God sent Jesus to die for us because he loves us. Now he's asking us to return love unto him and walk in obedience. So today, I inquire of you, are you obedient or are you being rebellious? Rebelliousness brings curses, but obedience brings blessings. Are you willing to walk in a cursed life, or do you want to walk in a blessed life with God? God is saying at the end of it, my relationship with you is what matters, because He says curses will follow you if you turn aside away from everything I've commanded you and you go after other gods which you do not know. So God is saying here, keep my relationship with you. Let us keep our relationship. Do not turn to other gods that you don't know, but continue in the way of relationship with me. So as we pursue our relationship with God, as we discover more about ourselves, as we walk in obedience to God and what His laws, His commands, His statutes say, we must also remember to teach them to our children. That's why we put it on the doorpost, that's why we put it on the gates, that's why we put it on our hands, that is why we have it in our homes and we speak about it all the time, because we are teaching the next generation in how to be obedient to God. We are teaching them how to love God and how to follow Him no matter what. No matter what comes up, no matter what happens in life, we are teaching them without a shadow of a doubt to love God and to walk in obedience. So today, I ask you, are you leaving a legacy of obedience or rebellion? Do not be rebellious and receive curses, but instead, be obedient and walk into blessings. Walk with blessings. Carry blessings for generations to come. And God says in verse 26, behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. So I'm asking you, which will you choose? Blessings or curses? God has given us a chance to choose. We have to make a decision, not just for us, but for our children and for generations to come. I choose to be blessed by God and walk in obedience. What will you choose? Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.